Finally, congratulations. Not everyone will understand what those words mean, but if you're hearing this before July 26, then trust me, you're not just lucky, you're aligned. This moment found you for a reason. You didn't stumble upon this message by accident. The universe has been watching your hustle, your silent battles, your unshakable belief when no one else clapped, and now it's whispering, it's time. Before July 26, a door is opening, a rare window of divine alignment, clarity, and opportunity. This isn't about superstition or fairy tales. This is about recognizing when your preparation meets your moment. You've done the work, you've cried in silence, you've stayed grounded when the world told you to give up, and now the shift begins, so sit up, listen closely. Because by the time July 26 arrives, you'll understand why this message reached you just in time, and why your next chapter is going to look nothing like your past. You're being positioned for a sudden breakthrough. It may not feel like it right now. Maybe you're tired, maybe you've questioned everything. Your choices, your path, your timing. You've done the hard work, shown up for yourself even when no one was clapping, and pushed through setbacks that would have made others quit. But here's what the universe doesn't advertise. Right before the breakthrough comes the pressure. Right before elevation comes the resistance. And right before your biggest moment, life often tests your patience, your identity, and your endurance. But what you don't see happening behind the scenes is that something is shifting, quietly, strategically, powerfully. Life doesn't shout when it's setting you up for greatness. It whispers, it rearranges. It strips you of what you thought you needed so you can receive what's truly meant for you, and sometimes it delays the blessing until you're strong enough to carry it, until your heart is healed, until your ego is silent, until you stop trying to prove and start simply becoming. That's what this moment is, a silent setup, a divine alignment, a redirection that's pulling you out of the ordinary and preparing you for the extraordinary. You may have thought you missed your chance. Maybe the job didn't come through. Maybe the relationship didn't work out. Maybe life took you down a deet, or you never asked for, but you're not off track. You're being positioned, and positioning doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes it looks like doors closing, people leaving, or opportunities slipping through your fingers. But trust me, what you lost wasn't a punishment. It was preparation. What walked away was making space. What didn't call back was never meant to go where you're going. This breakthrough won't look like the ones you've seen before. It won't be forced. It won't come from begging, chasing, or hustling to prove your worth. It will come suddenly, smoothly, and silently, because it's your time. You're not attracting it because you're desperate. You're drawing it in because you're aligned. The energy you carry now is different. It's rooted in wholeness, in awareness, in knowing that you're enough even if nothing changes. And that's exactly why everything is about to change. There's a shift happening that you may not even recognize yet. The people being drawn to you now, they're more intentional. The ideas you're receiving, more inspired. The doors that are creaking open, they're not random. They're divine signals that something is unfolding. Don't ignore the small signs, the little wins, the moments of clarity, that sense of peace you feel out of nowhere. That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. You're not waiting anymore, you're aligning. You're preparing to receive, and when it comes, it's going to be quick. It'll feel like everything was stuck, and then suddenly it wasn't, like nothing was happening, and then everything was. That's how breakthroughs work. They don't build slowly like progress, they drop like lightning. One moment you're unnoticed, and the next you're undeniable. One moment you're fighting to be seen, and the next the world can't take their eyes off you. That's the power of being positioned. It's quiet until it's loud, invisible until it's undeniable, small until it's unstoppable. So don't underestimate where you are right now. Don't discount the waiting season. Don't rush what's being prepared just for you, because when this breakthrough arrives, you'll look back and realize that every tear, every closed door, every lonely night was part of the setup. You weren't being forgotten, you were being fine-tuned. You weren't being punished, you were being protected, and now you're being positioned for something bigger, something better, and something breathtaking. So if you're hearing this before July 26, understand, this message isn't for everyone. It's for the ones who stayed consistent when it didn't make sense, who kept showing up without applause, who trusted the process even when their timeline didn't match their expectations. This isn't hype. This is alignment. This is destiny waking you up and saying asterisk, get ready. Asterisk, you're about to step into something that has your name on it, something no one else can block, delay, or deny. This is your moment. And it's closer than you think. Your delays were actually strategic redirections. It's easy to look at everything that didn't happen on time and call it failure. It's tempting to view every closed door as rejection, every unanswered prayer as silence, and every detour as a mistake. But what if you were never being denied, only rerouted? What if the things you were begging to happen didn't unfold not because you weren't worthy, but because you were being guided towards something far more aligned with your purpose? We live in a world that glorifies speed. We're told that if it doesn't happen fast, it won't happen at all. But timing isn't just a factor in success, it's the foundation. Some things take time not because they're far away, but because you're being prepared to handle them when they arrive. Think about it. The best meals aren't microwaved, they're slow cooked. The strongest diamonds aren't made in a minute. They're formed under pressure over time, and the most extraordinary lives, they're built through a journey of becoming, not just arriving. When things didn't happen when you expected, you probably felt like you were falling behind, but what you didn't see were the countless dangers you were protected from, the wrong people you were spared from partnering with, the doors that would have opened too soon and crushed you with their weight, the relationships that would have distracted you, the opportunities that looked glittery on the outside but would have drained your soul on the inside. That's not failure, that's strategy, that's divine timing doing its job. Redirection often shows up disguised as disappointment, but in time you start to see the pattern. You realize that losing that job made space for a calling, that the heartbreak taught you boundaries, that the missed opportunity taught you patience. You begin to understand that life isn't just about achievement. It's about alignment. It's about being exactly where you need to be, even when it doesn't look like progress from the outside. Sometimes the delay isn't about the thing. It's about about your inner strength, your self-worth, your maturity, your resilience, because let's be honest, you're not the same person you were last year. The things you would have tolerated then, you now walk away from. The way you used to doubt yourself, you now speak with power. That growth didn't happen in comfort, it happened in waiting, in silence. In the stretching season where nothing made sense, but everything was changing, every delay, every no, every moment of stillness, those were not setbacks, they were sacred pauses. They were the moments where you were being stripped of illusions, distractions, and anything unworthy of your future. Life was pruning you, refining you, molding you into someone who could not only receive the blessing but sustain it, because success without identity is fragile, fame without wisdom is dangerous, elevation without preparation is a setup for collapse. That's why the delay had to happen, not to hurt you, but to secure you. When you finally arrive at that next level, you'll realize that the timing wasn't just right, it was perfect. The version of you that steps into that opportunity is not the version that begged for it. You'll have clarity, boundaries, wisdom. You'll move differently because you've been through things that taught you how to stand when it gets hard and how to walk away when something doesn't feel right. You'll recognize real from fake, genuine from opportunistic, and purpose from distraction. And the most beautiful part, you'll stop resenting the delay. You'll start respecting it. You'll look back at every moment you thought you were forgotten and see that you were actually being protected. That every misdirection was actually a redirection. That every season of waiting was a sacred setup for something greater. You weren't behind. You were being guided. You weren't stuck. You were being still so you could hear your next instruction. So if you're hearing this before July 26, take a deep breath. You haven't missed your moment. You're not late. The delays were on purpose. They were making room for something you don't even have words for yet. Something that fits your soul, not just your schedule. Something that aligns with your destiny, not just your desires. You're about to realize that what felt like a delay was actually a divine strategy to position you for something only you were made to carry. And now, your moment is right around the corner. Your energy is now aligned with manifestation. You may not fully see the results just yet, but you can feel the shift. There's a subtle clarity in your spirit, a deeper confidence in your decisions, and a calm strength rising in your voice. It's not loud, but it's undeniable. That's the sign that something within you has finally clicked. The struggle to chase is fading. The need to prove is dissolving. And what's emerging is powerful. The alignment between your inner world and the life you desire. That's manifestation, not the wishful thinking, not the empty declarations, but the quiet, focused energy that says, I'm ready. There was a time when you wanted things so badly that your desire became desperation. You begged, pleaded, and pushed, hoping life would speed up just because you were tired of waiting. But the truth is, manifestation doesn't respond to urgency. It responds to clarity. It flows not from the force of your emotions, but from the alignment of your beliefs. And now, after everything you've endured, everything you've released, and everything you've learned, your energy finally matches the level of the life you've been asking for. This shift didn't happen overnight. It took some breaking. It took disappointment, loss, stillness, and healing. It took removing people who drained you and releasing habits that dulled your light. You had to stop being available for what you didn't want and start saying no to things that once looked like comfort but were actually distractions. You had to rebuild your boundaries, rewire your self-worth, and reset your expectations, not just of others but of yourself. And all of that inner work, all that invisible labor, is why your energy is different now. It's why you're aligned. When you're aligned, you don't chase, you attract. You stop feeling the need to force outcomes, and you begin to trust that what belongs to you will recognize you without effort. That doesn't mean you stop working. It means your work becomes more intentional. You speak with purpose, move with clarity, and invest in yourself not from fear of missing out, but from faith that your time is coming. You stop obsessing over timelines and start flowing with divine timing. You don't panic in silence. You find peace in preparation. The energy of alignment is unmistakable. It draws people who respect your boundaries. It calls in opportunities that match your growth. It brings clarity in moments of confusion. And most of all, it feels like home within yourself. You begin to realize that manifestation isn't magic, it's mastery. It's mastering your thoughts, your reactions, your discipline, your peace. It's becoming the version of yourself that your dreams have been waiting for. What's powerful now is that the universe no longer sees you as scattered or uncertain. Your frequency is steady. Your intention is clear. You've released the doubt that once clouded your vision, and you've stopped questioning your worth every time something didn't happen on your timeline. Now you move with assurance. Now you understand that delay isn't denial. Now you operate from a place of I am, and not I hope to be. And that's why manifestation is no longer a distant concept. It's an unfolding reality. You've likely noticed small signs already, moments of synchronicity, unexpected messages, opportunities that come without you having to chase, people showing up with the exact thing you needed. The energy you carry now is pulling things toward you that would have passed you by in the past. That's not coincidence, that's evidence. It's proof that you've shifted from wishing into alignment, from hoping into being. Manifestation isn't about perfect thoughts or non-stop positivity. It's about alignment between your beliefs, your actions, and your energy. You believe you're worthy, so you act like it. You act like it, so your energy radiates it, and your energy becomes the signal that the universe responds to. That's where you are now. Whether you realize it or not, your soul is sending out a frequency that says, I'm ready. And what you're ready for is already on its way. So if you're hearing this before July 26, know that this is more than just a feel. Good message, it's confirmation. You didn't come across this by accident. This is the universe responding to your alignment. This is your reminder that everything you've been preparing for is catching up to you. Keep moving like it's already yours. Keep thinking like the door is already open. Because your energy is no longer working against you. It's working for you. You're aligned, you're activated, and your manifestations are already in motion. You're about to attract what you once chased. Think about that for a moment. All the things you were once running after, the love, the success, the recognition, the peace, they are now turning toward you, not because the world has changed, but because you have. The energy you carry today is not the same as the one you carried when you were in pursuit. Back then, you were driven by the fear of missing out, by insecurity, by the need to prove something. Now you're moved by inner wholeness, clarity, and self-respect. That shift is everything. That's why what once ran from you is now finding its way to you. When we're in a state of chasing, we often send a signal to the world that says, I don't have enough, or I'm not enough, and the universe responds to that frequency. You were chasing because you thought you needed something outside of you to complete what was missing inside, but that mindset creates resistance. It keeps the things you want always slightly out of reach. You end up running in circles, exhausting your spirit, wondering why things just won't fall into place. You give more than you receive. You wait longer than you should. You settle for less than you deserve. All because you haven't yet realized that you're already whole. But now, something has changed. You're no longer chasing. You've let go of the pressure. You've stopped asking for permission to want what you want. You've started treating yourself with the love you used to beg from others. You've taken your power back, not with loud declarations, but with quiet decisions. The decision to walk away from what doesn't value you. The decision to stop explaining yourself to people who aren't listening. The decision to invest in your peace, protect your energy, and elevate your standards. That's the energy that attracts. Attraction happens when you stop trying to manipulate outcomes and start aligning with your truth. When you live in authenticity, opportunities start recognizing you. People start gravitating toward your confidence. Doors begin to open, not because you're forcing them, but because your energy now matches the rooms you were born to walk into. You're not pretending anymore. You're not performing. You're not sacrificing your needs to earn acceptance. And that's exactly why you're becoming magnetic. What used to take so much effort now begins to flow. You'll start seeing signs that what once ignored you now wants to connect. What once dismissed you now respects your presence. The jobs you once begged for now seem within reach. The people you once idealized now look human. The things you used to lose sleep over no longer control you, because you've stopped tying your value to whether or not they choose you. And that detachment, that inner peace, that's power. You've reached the point where you no longer need to chase love, success, or recognition. You've become the kind of person who draws it in naturally, because your presence speaks before you say a word, because your standards speak louder than your requests, because your self-awareness clears out everything that used to confuse you. This is the version of you that creates results without burnout, that experiences connection without obsession, that attracts respect without demanding it. The best part, you don't even have to try so hard anymore. You're not in competition, you're not in survival mode, you're not desperate to be seen. You see yourself clearly now. You've healed from the version of you that thought everything needed to be chased, earned, or struggled for. You've stepped into the energy of deserving, of ease, of grace, and life is responding. So if you're hearing this before July 26, understand that this is not random. It's confirmation. You've done the work. You've stopped chasing. You've stepped into your worth, and now the very things you used to pursue are on their way to you. Not because you forced them, but because you've become the version of yourself that no longer needs to. Your energy speaks for you, your alignment opens doors, and your calm confidence is the loudest invitation of all. Get ready, you're not chasing anymore, you're attracting. This is the final test before the level up. Right now, you may feel like everything is stretching you, emotionally, mentally, maybe even spiritually. It's like the pressure has intensified, even though you've already endured so much. You're doing your best to stay calm, to stay hopeful, but a part of you wonders why it feels harder just when you thought you were finally catching your breath. But that's how it works. Right before elevation, life will test everything you've learned. Not to punish you, but to confirm you're ready. Before every breakthrough, there is a final test, and this is yours. The final test doesn't always come with a warning. It shows up in subtle ways. Old triggers resurface. People from your past reappear. Unexpected delays frustrate you. Doors that seemed open suddenly slam shut. You're asked to wait longer, believe deeper, and walk in grace even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. It's not because you've done something wrong. It's because you're standing at the edge of a shift, and the universe is checking your foundation. It's asking, can you still move with faith when nothing makes sense? Can you still choose peace when everything around you is chaotic? Can you still speak life over yourself even when it feels like nothing is moving? You've come so far. You've grown in ways that no one else can fully understand. You've healed silently, sacrificed quietly, and matured internally. And this test is not to break you. It's to reveal you. It's to bring forward the version of you that doesn't chase validation, that doesn't need to be rescued, that doesn't fold under pressure. This test is revealing whether you're ready to carry the weight of the next level, not just the blessing, but the responsibility, the discipline, the mindset that elevation requires. A lot of people want the next level, but not everyone is willing to be refined for it. And the truth is, if it came too soon, it could destroy you. If it arrived when your heart still held onto bitterness, you'd sabotage it. If it came when your mind was still ruled by fear, you'd reject it. So this final test isn't delay, it's divine strategy. It's a sacred pause that's sharpening you, humbling you, and strengthening your capacity. You're not being overlooked, you're being fortified. This test will push your patience, stretch your faith, and challenge your self-belief. You'll have to choose between reacting emotionally or responding wisely, between clinging to the old or making space for the new, between proving yourself or preserving your peace. Every choice is a mirror, reflecting how much you've truly grown. This test isn't about outcomes, it's about identity. It's asking, do you trust who you've become? Do you trust what's been planted in you? Do you trust the timing of your life? The final test doesn't require perfection. It requires alignment. You don't have to fake strength or pretend you're unaffected, but you do have to stay grounded. You have to remember what you've already survived, what you've already overcome. You have to lead yourself with the wisdom you prayed for, the peace you fought for, and the faith you've built day by day. And as you pass this test, something in the atmosphere shifts. The old cycle closes. The pressure lifts, the doors begin to open. When you pass the final test, it won't be because everything went smoothly. It'll be because you chose to respond with maturity, because you didn't let fear drive your decisions, because you kept your heart soft even when the world felt hard. And that's what makes you ready. Not the image, not the resume, not the applause. The inner readiness, the depth, the alignment. That's what unlocks the next level. So if you're hearing this before July 26, take this as your confirmation. This test isn't here to hold you back, it's here to promote you. Don't run from it, lean into it, stay rooted, stay aligned. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. This pressure you feel, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You are being trusted with the next level. And before it arrives, life just wants to make sure you're truly ready to hold it. Keep going. You're closer than you think. Your faith is unlocking favor others can't explain. You may not have all the resources, all the connections, or all the answers, but what you have is something far more powerful, unwavering faith. The kind of faith that doesn't need to see the full picture to take the next step. The kind of faith that believes in breakthrough while still surrounded by brokenness. The kind of faith that keeps moving forward even when the path isn't clear. That faith has become your greatest weapon, your most valuable currency, and now it's opening doors that no one expected you to walk through. People may have looked at your life and counted you out. They may have thought you were too late, too flawed, too far behind. But what they didn't see was the quiet strength rising inside of you. They didn't see the nights you prayed instead of panicked, the moments you chose peace instead of retaliation, the days you held on to belief, even when everything around you looked like defeat. That faith didn't just carry you through, it shifted the atmosphere around you, and now you're stepping into a season where favor is chasing you down in ways that can't be explained by logic or strategy. It's divine. This kind of favor isn't based on qualifications. It's not earned by credentials or measured by titles. It flows from alignment, from heart, from faith. You didn't climb your way into this moment. You believed your way here. You trusted when you had every reason not to. You forgave when bitterness would have been easier. You stayed soft in a world that tried to harden you. And now that resilience, that grace, that humility, it's opening opportunities that your resume never could. People will look and ask, how did they get there? And the answer won't make sense to them, but you'll know it was faith. Faith is what separates those who wait passively from those who prepare actively. It's not wishful thinking, it's expectation. It's walking like it's already done. It's showing up like the room is yours before you even get the invitation. That kind of posture shifts everything. It sends a signal to the universe, to the divine, to every unseen force around you, that you are ready, not because you have it all figured out, but because you've surrendered the need to. Favor doesn't follow the rules. It doesn't care about the odds. It doesn't check your background or weigh your past. It flows where there is faith, and right now, your life is being marked by an invisible grace that makes the impossible possible. Doors are opening without you knocking. People are recommending your name in rooms you've never entered. Solutions are arriving before you even ask. That's what happens when your belief becomes bigger than your fear. And here's the thing about favor, it's undeniable. Even the people who once overlooked you will be forced to acknowledge that something has shifted, not because you shouted louder, but because your presence changed. Your peace grew louder than your pain. Your wisdom became more powerful than your wounds. Your silence spoke volumes, and in that quiet trust, you became magnetic. That's faith in action. That's what unlocks the blessings that no human effort could manufacture. This doesn't mean you won't face resistance. Favor often brings friction. Not everyone will celebrate your rise. Some will question it, even resent it, but let that be your confirmation. When favor flows, it exposes. It reveals what's real and what was only riding with you for the struggle. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't apologize for the light that's finally shining on you. You didn't manipulate your way here. You believed your way here, and no one can take that from you. If you're hearing this before July 26, understand this. Your faith has already activated a chain of events. Things are moving on your behalf that you can't yet see. There's favor lining your path, ready to show up at the exact moment it's needed. Don't let fear speak louder than your expectation. Keep declaring it. Keep walking like it's already done, because soon you won't just believe it, you'll be living it. And when it happens, it won't be luck. It won't be coincidence. It'll be the undeniable result of faith that never quit. Your season of favor has begun. So here you are standing at the edge of something extraordinary. If you've made it to this point, if you've seen this before July 26, then this isn't just a message, it's a confirmation. The timing of this moment, the weight of every word, the fire that's been reignited in your soul, none of it is random. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to be reminded of who you are and what you're stepping into. You've been prepared through pain, strengthened through stillness, refined through resistance. Every delay, every closed door, every sleepless night, it wasn't wasted. It was part of a divine equation working silently in your favor, and now everything is aligning, not just around you, but within you. Your mindset is clearer, your spirit is calmer, your heart is stronger, and your energy, it's unstoppable. You've shifted, you're no longer chasing, you're attracting. You're no longer doubting, you're trusting. You're no longer surviving, you're stepping into overflow. The breakthrough is not just coming, it's already in motion. The final test is almost over. The favor is unfolding. The manifestations are rising to meet your new frequency. This isn't hype. This is a holy moment, one where your faith meets your future, one where heaven begins to echo back every silent prayer you once thought went unheard. So keep your head high, keep your spirit open. Walk like it's already yours and speak like you know exactly what you're carrying, because this isn't the end of a journey, it's the beginning of a new level, and when it happens, when everything shifts, you won't need to explain how or why. You'll just smile, stand tall and say, asterisk, finally, asterisk, congratulations, this is your time.